Today I'm going to review the Challenger bread pan. Is it worth the investment? Hi, I'm Sune and I'm a food geek. Today I'm going to review the Challenger bread pan. It's a cast iron pan designed specifically for baking bread. I've been using a large cast iron combo cooker for my bread baking almost from the beginning of my sourdough journey, and it works great. I've also used the Brovn, a glass dome that comes with its own baking steel, and I've done a side-by-side comparison of a Pyrex casserole, an enameled roasting pan lid, and my large. And in all honesty, the results are the same when it comes to oven spring, crust, crumb, and taste. So, what sets the Challenger apart from these other baking vessels? Well, first a little backstory. The Challenger pan was created back in 2018 by Jim Challenger to solve different problems that home bakers face when baking bread in their home ovens. Problems like not getting enough steam, getting burned when trying to maneuver heavy pans around in a scorching hot oven, and getting inconsistent heat because of hot and cold zones in home ovens. The design that you see today isn't the design that was the first one that Jim and product designer Julia Bem came up with. The design was iterated several times over a period of a year. This is exactly how we make software in my professional life. I've been a software engineer for over 20 years and now work in product development, working to make the best software possible. We do several iterations until we have the perfect design. So to solve the problem of not getting enough steam, the pan is designed to be lower than most Dutch ovens or combo cookers. That means that the steam will be more concentrated, thus giving you a better oven spring. The next problem is getting burnt, or how to not get burned. Using cast iron for baking is great because it retains heat very well, so even if you open the oven or you take the pan out of the oven, it will not lose significant heat while you're placing your bread into it. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who's gotten burned while trying to get a super heavy lid off my Dutch oven while baking. Well, the simple yet ingenious design of the handles of the Challenger pan solves this in a great way. There are 3 sets of handles to help you maneuver the pan. There's a big set of handles on the sides of the pan to lift and carry the pan with the lid included. Those handles are split into 2, so you can use the upper handles to take the top off the pan when the pan is in the oven the short way. Then there's another set of handles on the top that helps you when the pan is in the oven the long way. That means no matter what kind of oven you have, you can always get the top off safely. Another thing that's great about the design is that it clicks in place when you place the top on the bottom, so that you're sure that the steam is sealed inside the pan instead of slipping out the side. Any combo cooker that I've used for baking has this particular problem. Another thing this solves over a regular Dutch oven, which has a pot and a lid, is getting the bread into the bottom is super easy because it's the flat part that's the bottom. No parchment paper slings or other convoluted schemes to get the bread into the pot. This is of course solved if you bake in a combo cooker, of course. While I'm not able to test the hot and cold zone problem in my oven, using a baking vessel will generally solve this problem. If you have an oven that heats inconsistently, using a cast iron baking vessel is essential. The Challenger solves this problem as well as any other cast iron baking vessel. So it certainly seems like all the things that this baking vessel sets out to solve, it does very well. Another thing that it solves that Jim Challenger doesn't even mention on his site is that because of the oblong shape, it makes it much better for baking longer breads like batards, torpedoes, and baguettes. Those are usually impossible to bake in a round cast iron pan unless they're very small. So that's another point for this pan. The Challenger bread pan is made from cast iron. Quality-wise, it's not better or worse than, say, the large, which means that it's actually really good quality. The design is simple and very beautiful. On the top is an etched wheat stalk, which gives you a visible clue of what this pan is made for. It requires almost no maintenance. Just dust out the pan after it's cooled down and make sure you dry it very thoroughly after you wash it so that it doesn't rust. So who should buy this? Well, you probably already know that it's not a cheap product. At the time of recording this video, it's $225 US. If you're just getting into baking sourdough bread, it's not the first product I would recommend you to buy. If you're willing to pay a premium for a premium product, I think the Challenger bread pan is worth it, both for its gorgeous looks and the user experience. If you bake once a month, I think it may be too much money to spend, depending on your personal economy, of course. If you love snazzy gear that's beautifully designed and executed and has had a lot of thought put into it, it's really a no-brainer. If you want to buy it, I've left a link in the description and the card above. If you buy it through this link, I will get some money off this purchase, so consider that. I could be biased. Well, that was a little bit of a different video for me this week. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do more reviews and what you'd like me to review. For more awesome sourdough content, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.